There's the robot. Yep. And we see our iconic wizard, our barbarian, and our alchemist attempting to battle this wizard. Yeah. Battle this giant robot. Look, I like the little ponytail and the Viking hat. It's great. So this is the most important bit, right? This is class. Your class is the thing that when we talk about our characters, we say, I am an elven wizard who used to be a barrister, right? But class is the thing. Class is the main thing that advances. This is what goes on in advancement throughout a character's life. So let's take a look at the classes in here. And I'm gonna skip over what all of this stuff means, and we'll figure it out as we go. So what do we got? Oh, do we get full page art for every class? Oh, we do. Ugh, God, their mouths are so gross. Like sharp-toothed edged, lipless face sphincter. Ugh. I love them, but oh boy, that's cool. They got permanent Skeletor face. Yeah, I mean, you know what? That's how it goes. So alchemists are intelligence driven. They and I love this. This page, this is the page you want to look at whenever you want to flip through it and you're like, what class should I play? So during combat encounters, you throw bombs at your enemies, support the rest of your party with elixirs, and warp your body into a resilient weapon at higher levels. During social encounters, you have knowledge and expertise about items and secrets like poison and diseases. While you're exploring, you'll keep an eye out for trouble with bombs at the ready and give advice on all things mysterious and alchemical. And in downtime, you experiment in a lab, brewing elixirs, making bombs, and furthering your alchemical knowledge, right? This is shit you do while you play Pathfinder. If you are this class, this is what you do. You might want to play it. If you play the game and you play this class, you might do it because you enjoy tinkering with formulas and reagents. You get a kick out of wreaking havoc, and you want to endlessly experiment to discover new potent alchemical tools. And I like this idea of like others probably think this stuff about you. So if you play one of these types of characters, they might think you're some kind of sorcerer or a weird wizard that doesn't understand you don't cast spells. They might not understand your zeal for creativity and invention. They might assume you haven't caused a catastrophe with your experiments. You inevitably will. So this gives you a nice mechanics-free, flavorful way of understanding what might be fun about this class. And that's very important if you've never played this game before, right? So I'm not going to go through all of the specific stuff of what a class like can do, right? I'm not going to walk you through like all the details. Obviously, you should check that out yourself, but we'll look at the first page of all of these classes. And we'll see. I'll leave a little bit of time at the end for basically like a Q&A, right? If you have specific questions and you want me to come back and take a look at anything, we'll have time for that. But for now, we'll just kind of browse through, looking at the art and checking out that first page of all the class stuff. So we get a little sample alchemist, right? If you want to build a certain type of alchemist, here's some presets you could do, right? Then we get into feats. You got poison, invincibility. You could be this sunglass walking away from rat explosion, Skaven killing guy. It's pretty good. A lot of goblins in this alchemist art. Whoa. Look at this handsome bomber. Like, they're a pirate. They're also an elf. They're also like, it looks like Samoan inspired. And they're an alchemist. So I'm very impressed so far at the art and how characters are being portrayed in the game. I think it's very cool. There's our mutagenist is another variation of alchemist. Look at the little homunculus friend. So here's Midriff. Here's Midriff the Barbarian. This is Amiri. She is. God bless you, you terrifying sword lesbian. I like her. She's great. She's a favorite of mine. She's very angry. She's a barbarian. So let's see. During combat, you summon your rage and smash your way through. Your offense is your best defense. You drop foes before they exploit your relatively low defenses. Yeah, that's true. Barbarians in Pathfinder, in my experience, tend to be pretty low armor class, but very good at dealing damage. Yeah. During social encounters, you use intimidation to get what you need. While exploring, you look out for danger. You climb the challenging rock wall and drop a rope for others to follow. You wade into the risky currents. So they kind of like, yeah, they're glass cannons of rage, willing to throw themselves into danger. In downtime, you might head to a tavern to carouse, build up the fearsome legend of your mighty deeds, or recruit followers and become a warlord on your own right. You might have a deep-seated well of anger, hatred, or frustration. You might prefer a straightforward approach. You might engage in a regiment of intense physical fitness and punch anyone who says this conflicts with your distaste for patience and tedium. Others rely on your courage. They see you as uncivilized or boorish, or believe you are loyal to your friends and allies and will never relent till the fight is done. 12 HP plus your con mod per level. It's pretty good. So I guess your starting hit points are your background plus your class plus your con mod. So if you're like a dwarven barbarian, you'd start with 22 HP plus like up to another like 3 or whatever. Yeah, 20 plus con if you're a human. Yeah. So that's cool. I like that. Yeah, you just add them up as you go. Yeah. Interesting that barbarians are experts in perception. They're an expert in fortitude, trained in reflex, and an expert in will. And then they're trained in athletics and additional skills equal to 3 plus their int mod. Trained in simple martial and unarmed weapons, trained in light, medium, and unarmored defense, and then barbarian class DC, which I'm not sure what. I guess that's for testing your abilities. That you need to. Okay, all right. So let's look at barbarian. So you get rage, right? And you can see this is an example. We didn't really do one of these before, but if you take a look at rage here, it gives you, this is a 1 point action. It is concentration. It is an emotion ability. It is mental, and it is a barbarian ability, right? And you tap into your inner fury and begin raging. You get temporary hit points, and basically you just rage, and it uses, I guess it's a concentration, so it uses one of your abilities as you go. Yeah, it lets you fly into a frenzy. It's certainly mental. You can't voluntarily stop raging. While you're raging, you deal 2 additional damage. You get a -1 penalty to AC. There you go. You can't use concentration actions while you are raging unless they also have the rage trait. Yeah, so this is a concentrate ability, and then you can't use other concentrates. You can't concentrate on a spell while you're raging, but there might be other rage abilities that are concentration that you can do while you're raging. That's interesting. So basically, it's cost, tags, and requirements. Yeah. You can't use concentration actions while raging. Ah, yes, I see you have also played Dark Souls. Cool. All right, so there's our emaciated big sword goth GF Amiri, and there's all kinds of cool stuff like Dragon Instinct, but I'll let you dig through that for your favorite class on your own. There's Amira just taking out a frost giant. That's fine. It's cool. No big deal. So you could be an animal rager. You could be a fury. Oh yeah. It's like a fucking dervish warrior. That's pretty cool. And then you could be this nerd with your recorder. I'm going to go back for a second against this nerd. Somebody asked me to take a look at one of the instinct abilities and just see kind of the framework. Yeah, let's do it. So, if you can be an animal instinct. I will say this. Thank you for making these instincts and not totems. Totems and like spirit animals and stuff have a lot of like weird real world baggage. Kind of like race does. Thanks for making them instincts instead of totem. It's a charged word, and you have to handle it carefully. So yeah. So instead, you have the instincts of a creature, and you get to decide what that instinct means. It might be cultural, right? If it is, you have to like do that internally. It might also be a belief, a curse, a heritage, or simply a state of mind, right? So let's take a look at what an instinct does. So you get an ability, right? So if your animal instinct is cat, then you get jaws and claws as like attacks. And then you have anathema. Oh my god, truck instinct. That's right. Anathema, flagrantly disrespecting an animal of your chosen kind is anathema to your instinct, as is using weapons while raging. So what happens whenever you perform an anathema? You lose the instinct's ability and any instinct feats until you spend 1 day of downtime recentering yourself. Ah, I like it. That's cool. So if you have an animal instinct and you fight with a weapon, you lose your ability, you lose your connection to the deer or the frog. Oh my god, you could be a barbarian with a tongue attack. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then you get some additional abilities: bestial rage, specialization ability, and raging resistance. Oh, that's neat. Okay. Oh, I love these. So it makes the barbarian about, like, you have specific stuff. So like anathema for dragon is let a personal insult against you slide, right? Anathema for fury is you don't have one as an instinct ability, you get an additional feat. Oh, I see. So fury is just like a personal well of rage. And then giant instinct, failing to face a personal challenge of strength. Someone calls you a chicken or says like, you can't do it. Oh, that's cute. Oh my god, Titan Mauler. You can use a weapon built for a large creature if you were small or medium. Ah. Right, so it's like, well, you know, I'm a halfling, but yeah, and it's Titan's grip, right? And that's what Amiri's doing, right? She's got a giant, because isn't her sword, if I remember this from the game, isn't her giant sword like a giant longsword, like the longsword of a giant, and it's a giant's dagger, yeah, and she stole it, or a giant sword, and she stole it, and now it's like a big oversized weapon she can use. That's badass. She's cool. Nice. There you go. Okay, cool. So yeah, and these are things that like they're tags for the GM to poke at, right? To say like, poke, poke, poke. They insult you. Poke, poke, poke. What are you gonna do? Poke, poke. Because that, I mean, you want to goad. The barbarian is easily goaded because that's what being a barbarian is like. So that's what you want in the game. You want to be able to do that. Cool. All right. Well, we can't live in barbarian country forever. We've got like 600 more pages to look at. So let's take a look at bards. So bards use magical performance to alter the odds in favor of their allies, confidently alternate between attacks, healing, and helpful spells. You persuade, prevaricate, and threaten with ease. While exploring, you know stuff. Your spells and performance inspire your allies to greater discovery and success, and in downtime, you can earn money and prestige with your performances, right? So I think we have this assumption that bards just like toot their flute and we ignore them. But from my experience, what's fun about playing a bard in Pathfinder 2 is juggling actions and concentration, right? Being like, all right, I'm going to play my lute and I'm going to inspire, and that's going to use up one of my slots. Then the other 2 slots, I'm going to cast a healing spell, and then I'm going to cast another, and then I'm going to move. And so it's like juggling because you have so much to do, you have to decide what to do with that action economy. And yeah, every class is trained. Somebody noticed this, Boots of Pain notice. Every class is trained in perception, right? But that's because perception is a form of initiative. Yeah, you use initiative to roll, or use performance to roll, or perception to roll initiative. Okay, what kind of backup bards do we have here? So, all of their spells are based on like focus points and like casting compositional magic. As a bard, you select a muse. And then you become, so there's so much customization, right? So much customization. Yeah, look at this. This is the bard fighting harpies, who I guess have like a sonic attack or whatever, right? Whoa. So you can be a dancer. It's cool. I like that. God, this art is so fun. All right. Yeah, champion. So everybody who was asking about how paladins work, here is our answer. So this is the champion. The champion confronts enemies in hand-to-hand combat, positioning themselves to protect their allies. During social encounters, they are a voice of hope, striving to reach a peaceful solution. Oh my God, I want to be a half-orc champion who is like an emissary of a peace state, like a half-orc peacekeeper. Oh yeah. That's a cool, I like it. That'd be fun. During social encounters, you strive to reach a peaceful solution that strengthens bonds. While exploring, you overcome barriers, both physical and spiritual, providing inspiration to your allies through your actions. In downtime, you spend it in solemn prayer and contemplation. Awesome. Okay, so what do we get? Oh, we follow a code of conduct, beginning with tenets shared by all champions of an alignment. So here's our mechanical. Oh, fucking, I get it now. Okay, so you're a champion. What alignment are you? Lawful good? You're a paladin. It's mechanical alignment. Oh, that's great. That's a really good use of it. It makes alignment actually matter to this kind of. You're not necessarily a religious fighter. You are a philosophical combatant, right? So champions are divine servants of a deity. You choose a deity. Your alignment has to be one that's matched up with theirs, and then you choose the following cause. Your cause matches your alignment exactly. So if you are lawful good, you're a paladin. You can't lie, cheat, take advantage of others, respect the lawful authority of legitimate leadership wherever you go, follow its laws. If you're neutral good, you're a redeemer. If you're chaotic good, you are a liberator. Interesting that by default, we only get 3, right? So in the core book, you have lawful good, neutral good, or chaotic good. But we don't have the other. Yeah, right. So I very much imagine that we will get champions of the other abilities. Yeah. So that's cool. Liberator, chaotic good. Respect the choices others make over their own lives. Can't force anyone to act in a particular way or threaten them if they don't. You must demand and fight for others' freedom to make their own decisions. You may never engage in or countenance slavery or tyranny. Hell yeah. Liberator. Fucking awesome. I'll be one of those. And then you zealously bear your deity's favored weapon. If it's uncommon, you gain access to it. If it's a simple weapon, increase the damage die by 1 step. Badass. I like it. Cool. So here's a redeemer. Another badass lady. Look at her. I love her big hair. It's pretty cool. And there's a liberator. Wow, paladin with a. What? He's got a whip. He's got like a Greek. He's got kind of like a Greek or like Egyptian kind of like vibe to his armor. Yeah. All right. That's cool. Yeah, it's like a scourge. Yeah, what's on his back? They're javelins, I think, probably, because they're too big to be arrows. Yeah. Callistra is all about bees and whips. So speaking of deities, here's our cleric and her holy symbol. So clerics, if you're a war priest, you balance casting spells and attacking with weapons. If you're a cloistered cleric, you primarily cast spells. Most of your spells can boost, protect, or heal your allies. During social encounters, you might make diplomatic overtures or deliver impressive speeches. Because you're wise, you can pick up on falsehoods. While exploring, you detect magic and interpret religious writing. You might concentrate on a protective spell in case of attack. After a battle or hazard, you heal anyone who is hurt. And in downtime, you perform services at temple, travel to spread the word of your deity, research scripture, celebrate holy days, or even found a new temple. You might visit temples and holy places sacred to your faith and have an immediate affinity with other worshippers. You might know the teachings of your holy text and apply them to a dilemma and cooperate with your allies. Others probably find your devotion impressive, even if they don't understand. They expect you to heal their wounds. This... Just bold and highlight this and put it in fucking 27-point font. Others probably expect you to heal their wounds. Life of a cleric. Yeah. So what kind of clerics can we be? We choose a divine font. Oh, this is the AoE heal or harm thing. Healing is really interesting in this, and the way that you heal and how healing is you heighten it with like stronger versions, and your deities give you specific versions. Heal and harm are the base abilities for healing, as healing and harming as a cleric, and then they advance or alternate depending on the kind of cleric that you are and what god you worship. Yeah. So you can be a war priest, which is like a fighting cleric, or you can be a spellcaster, which is like a cloistered cleric. And then all of your feats allow you to modify and upgrade your spells and your ability to do your area of effect stuff. Right? Yeah. Look at that guy. Is this a god of wind and waves? Yeah. Look at that cool fork. Oh, I see. So these are like the Gozran followers of that god. Okay. And then the Pharasman followers of Pharasma. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Neat. Whoa. She's cool. All right, druids. So druids, I expect there's like a shapeshifter variant and there's like a spellcaster variant. Let's take a look. So during combat, you call on the force of nature to defeat your enemies and protect your allies. You cast spells that draw upon primal magic. Depending on your bond to nature, you might call down elemental magic or change your shape. There we go. Okay, makes sense. You represent a balanced and reasoned approach to problems, looking for solutions that are not only best for the natural world, but allow creatures to live in harmony and peace. You often propose compromises. So neutrality, I guess, is still important to this branch. I remember when druids had to be neutral. You couldn't, that was the only alignment you had available to you. So you might craft magic items or potions, lead you to a wilderness area, befriend beasts and heal the wounds caused by civilization. You might have a deep and meaningful respect for the power of nature, be in constant awe of the natural world, treat plants and animals as allies. The real world we need some druids. Others probably view you as a representative of nature and are sure you can control it. They assume you're a recluse who avoids society or considers you a mystic, similar to a priest, but answering to the forces of nature. Cool. Okay. So again, whenever we see the word anathema, it looks like it means things that your character class prevents you from doing, or you have to atone, right? So using metal armor or shields, despoiling natural places, or teaching the druidic language to non-druids. That's all anathema to druids, and each order has its own anathema acts. Yes. She's a gnome. Yeah, she's definitely a gnome. Look at her. Oh, look at how her hair turns into little like fronds at the end. That's so cool. So if she's like this, that's actually kind of it's sort of a small cat. I mean, I would stay away from me. Don't kill me, but like, holy. So let's see. Okay. So druidic order, you're either an animal druid, which gives you the heal animal spell and the animal companion feat. You could be a leaf druid, which gives you goodberry, diplomacy, and leshy familiar. I think a leshy is like a living plant. You could be a storm druid or a wild druid. That's cool. Okay. Whoa. Like a jaguar halfling. That's cool. Okay, so it's like a kind of nymph, a little like veggie creature. Got it. Okay. That's pretty sick. Yeah, a leopard halfling. Storm druid. Yeah, that's cool too. Yeah. Yeah, and then take that, Drider. Yes. I want a stick man as a friend. I want that. Yeah, a leshy, your little plant creature companion. It's a Grootling. Yeah. Yeah, he's also a great table. Yeah, all right. So what are these fighters? Fighters, hell yeah. So here's our fighter. Fighter, traditionally maligned as the least interesting character type in the game, right? Why would you want to be a fighter when you could be a ranger or a champion, right? Like why would you want to be, how to make fighter interesting is a challenge that, is that Gideon? Sideburns are too small to be Gideon. Yeah, like this is the thing. Like, how do you make this fun? How do you make it to appeal to people? So let's see. I mean, you're a fighter. You strike with unmatched accuracy and specialized combat technique. A melee fighter stands between allies and enemies, attacking foes who try to get past. A ranged fighter delivers precise shots from a distance. During social encounters, you can be an intimidating presence. While exploring, you keep up defenses and prep for combat. You overcome physical challenges. And in downtime, perform manual labor, craft and repair armaments. You might know the purpose and quality of every armor and piece of armor and weapon you own, recognize the danger of an adventurer's life, and have little patience for puzzles or problems that require detailed logic or study. Others probably find you intimidating till they get to know you, maybe even afterwards. They expect you're all brawn and no brains, and they respect your expertise in the art of warfare. I love this others probably bit because a lot of it is fairly true, right? Like when someone plays a fighter, you expect like, okay, intimidate them, fighter. Go and kill those guys. Don't make an intelligence roll. I'll do it. You know? So how do we make fighters interesting? Is it just feats? Let's see. Kind of looks like it. It looks like you just get a shit ton of feats. We'll talk about this a tiny bit when we get into like looking at combat. Attacks of opportunity, not everybody gets them. An attack of opportunity is it's not a right, it is a privilege. And so you have to have the feat attack of opportunity, or some other abilities. So sometimes you can, like if you're punching a wizard, right? If you got a wizard by the cloak and you're just like socking him in the face, and then somebody calls out, they're like, come help me with this ogre. You can just throw that wizard aside probably and just run away without worrying about them hitting you. What I really, really like about this is that not all monsters have attack of opportunities, right? So you have to take that gamble. You're like, oh God, is this monster going to be able to attack of opportunity or not? Like, should I step away and use that action or should I just run? I love it. I love that it's a feat. I think it's something to like wonder about and not be certain about when you first get into a fight with someone. Yeah. So let's see. So yeah, if you're a fighter, here's your feat list. You get a lot of feats and it allows you to build your particular kind of fighter. Yeah. And in this case, it's a class feature, right? Rather than a feat. It's attack of opportunity for fighters. If they are a fighter, they get to do this. And then you customize whatever else you can do. Maybe exacting strikes or point blank shots or whatever as you go. Yeah. It's cool. I like it. Because you can get locked into that, like just lock in and fight, right? And what is, so here's the model for feats in general, right? A feat in a game like this does one of two things generally. It either gives you a new ability or it allows you to break the rules of existing abilities. So the game might say you have to use an action to raise your shield, right? That costs an action. Then a fighter feat might say you can raise your shield as a reaction instead. So a cleric with a shield has to decide, am I focusing on staying behind it and fighting, or am I going to cast more spells? Whereas a fighter can say, chop, chop, chop. First time someone tries to hit me, bang, I bring the shield up. I'm fast, I'm trained to use up that ability. It's not just bonuses. Yeah, lots of additional special abilities no one else can do unless they also have that feat. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I like it. Cool. So that seems to be how you make fighters interesting. You turn that over to players and teach them how to customize themselves. If you want to be a sphere, play this guy. A two-handed weapon that pushes enemies around the battlefield and deals grievous wounds. Oh, this is the like, I knock you down, you try to get up, I shove you down again, you take some damage, I break your legs, I push you down. Oh, yep, cool. The stun locker. It's pretty good. Okay. Or it could be the duelist. Yeah. Fast weapons, dancing around, stabbing people. And I like these. They're instead of saying this is the subclass, it's saying here's a free build. This is like net decking a Pathfinder character, which honestly, like, yeah, that's great. Because, you know, a big thing that I think makes people like uncomfortable about playing a game like this is that they're not immediately like, it's not immediately evident that you know what to do. And so like choosing when someone puts in front of you a game with 640 pages and then says choose from this like list of 80 options for your character, you don't know what to do. But being able to put before them like, okay, don't worry, here are some pre-builts. You could be a duelist, a bully, or an archer. Do any of those sound fun? Cool, play one of those. It's pretty good. All right, the monk. The monk. I'm interested to see what they do with the monk, because the monk is an interesting character. It's like a fighty bard, but kind of a rogue also. Sort of a cleric. It's a strange class that depending on how it's put together can be either really useful and really interesting or kind of like bland. I've seen lots of kinds of monks. It's also confusing because historically, the monk is like a Shaolin monk, right? It's like the kung fu, like wuxia type of monk. Whereas the word monk also means like, you know, scholarly dudes with a weird haircut. So yeah, I think in this, it's much more Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and much less Name of the Rose, but during a combat encounter, you speed into the fray, dodging and leaping with acrobatic maneuvers. You strike opponents in a rapid flurry of attacks using your bare fists or wielding specialized weapons. I think a Catholic monk is really more like a cleric, but yeah, the word is confusing because it means a different thing. But we'll get to it. We'll look at this. So during social encounters, your perceptiveness lets you see through falsehood. Your philosophical training provides insight into any situation. While exploring, you climb walls, dodge traps, overcome obstacles, and leap over pits. In downtime, you eat healthy food, diligently exercise, meditate, and study various philosophies. So, I guess I'm not a monk then. Yeah, okay. You might maintain a regimen of physical training and meditation. You may face adversity with a calm and measured approach, never panicking or succumbing to despair. You might look to the future for ways you can improve. Others probably marvel at your feats of physical prowess, think you're more than a bit uptight, given your vows and tenets. Come to you for philosophical advice. Okay, so vows and tenets. Vows and tenets. I am interested. Okay, so you get flurry of blows, powerful fist, and then you start getting skill feats as you go on. Let's see. Aha, stances. Crane stance, dragon stance. I think those are the two we start with in this one. Each one gives you different bonuses. Mountain stance. Oh, there's a bunch more. Mountain stance, tiger stance, wolf stance. So these are your fighting styles, right? Crane style. Yeah, okay. All right, cool. And so each one gives you traits. Oh, because it's a fighting style. Yeah, of course. And they unlock your special attacks. So it's like, you use the wind crash attack. I see your wild wind stance. Well, it's no match for my tiger claw technique. I mean, honestly, that's what you want, right? You want to be able to do the cool kung fu stuff. Yeah, they kind of work like weapons. They give you lots of opportunity to kind of like fill in as the game goes on. Yeah, more styles with more abilities. Okay, yeah, cool. All right. So if you wanted to jump kick a troll in the face, there you go. So there's like, you can be a key monk, internal magical energy, a crane monk. Whoa. Badass. A crane monk. And then you can build your own. So I guess, okay, so this is Ranger, right? This is the guy from the cover that I thought maybe was a fighter. Got that good scowl and 2 axes. I should have known. So a Ranger, single out a particular foe to hunt, making you better at defeating them. Target and brutalize your chosen foe with either a bow or melee weapons. While you speak, it's with a voice of practical experience involving wilderness exploration. While exploring, you guide your allies through wilderness or follow tracks. In downtime, you craft weapons and snares. All right, okay. You might respect the raw power of nature. You might enjoy the thrill of the hunt. You might scout out ahead of the party. You might have the eye of the tiger. Others probably call on you to protect them from the wilds, expect you to be a quiet or taciturn loner, think there's something dangerous and wild about you. All right, Aragorn. All right. Okay. Oh my God, that's so funny. So that troll art, this troll art right here, there's backstory for this art, apparently. Apparently the troll art is from a short story published on Paizo's website. He and the monk are buddies and they're training. That is not the context I would have assumed from this art. That's really funny. That's good. That's nice. All right, so as a ranger, you get hunt prey. And then when you hunt prey, depending on the focus of your training, you either get precision, outwit, or flurry. Right, so you can either attack your prey more precisely, or outwit your prey. Interesting. Okay. And then there's some key terms for the ranger: flourish, open, or press. Oh, cool. Open maneuvers only work as the first salvo in the attacks you make on your turn. You can use an action with the open trait only if you haven't used an action with the attack or open trait yet this turn. Oh, that's cool. And then press, you can only press if you're affected by a multiple attack penalty. Ooh, that's fucking smart. So they're combo abilities. So you're like, you open with an opener and then you press with a, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, tags are so important in this. Yeah. Neat. So let's see. Let's take a look. Let's find something with like open. So these are all ranger ones. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, please. I want a dinosaur companion. Thank you. It's Denver. Yeah, here we go. Second Sting is a press ability. Penetrating Shot is an open ability. So you shoot clear to an intervening character to hit your prey. Choose a target that is giving lesser cover to your hunted prey. You make a single range strike with a required weapon against the chosen target and your hunted prey. This attack ignores any lesser cover the chosen target provides your prey. Roll damage once. Apply it to each creature you hit. What? Oh my God, that's so cool. I mean, no wonder it's 10th level. You shoot through somebody giving cover to your real target. So you're like, oh, I see. You're hiding behind your friend. That's fine. Blam. Thump, right through them. And you hit both of them with open shot. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. Neat. Yeah. So again, this is what a granular system allows you to do, right? It allows you, by mixing tags, the action economy, and a bunch of other pieces of mechanism, it allows you to create combination moments that you couldn't get from a simpler system, except narratively, right? That is super cool. So if you're a ranger, you might be an archer, like this badass with a cool knife tattoo. Yeah. Every time I see this person, I don't know their name. I don't know. They're an elven rogue, right? I don't know their name, but they remind me of Blink from the X-Men comics. Yeah. Her name's Mariciel or something. Yeah, okay. Anyway, they're cool. I think that's the thing, right? To your point, John in chat said this is what I want from a complex system. That's the thing, is like, complexity in and of itself is meaningless, right? Like, Pathfinder isn't good because it's complex. It's good if you like complexity because it allows you to intersect that complexity in interesting ways. Saying, I have a feat that affects another feat of mine, which allows me to do a thing, and I have found some synergy with another class that you are playing that allows me to do this, right? So you give me a bonus for doing this thing, and it allows you to kind of like nest these combos, and it rewards system mastery, right? That's the idea, is knowing what abilities will merge with your own ability, these little nooks and crannies. Yeah, it's something that, like, I will never be able to master Pathfinder in any meaningful way because my brain just doesn't work that way. But I really like watching other people master these systems, right? It's like, I don't play Path of Exile, but I will watch other people play and talk about it by creating these little nuances. And yeah, Dave makes a great point. In our playtest game, Dave realized that Plunderfist could grant himself a sneak attack by grappling a target first, right? So became a brawling rogue where he was like, oh, if I get you in a headlock first, then with my other hand, I can knife you, and now it counts as a sneak attack because I grappled first, because any grappled target grants me the ability to, yeah. And so finding these little internal and external structures within the game are super important. Yeah. And I think that's great. I think that stuff is really fun. So let's see. And that for me is why I love when players discover that stuff. When someone's like, okay. Let me show you. Let me show you my cool combo. I'm not like, okay, min-maxer, like, great. I'm always like, wow, your mastery of the system is very cool. And it makes me I need to step my game up to match you, right? So, okay, so you're a rogue. You move stealthily. You're a precision instrument. You have lots of tools to influence your opposition. You get the drop on people. You scout for danger. And you pick pockets and trade in illegal goods, right? Your job is to be the person who knows a guy and gets things done. As a rogue, you begin to develop your own style. It is called your racket, which is like, okay, that's a pretty good term. What's your racket? It's not a subclass, it's a racket. So you can either be a ruffian, a scoundrel, or a thief. I like that. So you use fast talking, flattery, and a silver tongue to avoid danger, or you strong arm and intimidate people. What's all this then? Or you're thrilled by taking something that belongs to someone else. So it's such a good term for that, right? Little flavor text within the rules. Yeah. Right. It used to be called thug. I think ruffian is a lot better. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay. So when your enemy can't properly defend itself, you take advantage to deal extra damage. You get a sneak attack, surprise attack. On the first round of combat, if you roll deception or stealth for initiative, creatures that haven't acted yet are flat-footed, right? And then you get rogue feats to further customize your stuff, right? And so here's where we see like you get a free action, right? Debilitating strike. You're next as a reaction. Nimble dodge as a reaction. Again, it seems to me that the idea is, whoa, hi there. Cool. She is as cool as Canterhag wishes that he was. So you basically like you choose your general idea and then you build up the kind of class you want from the little bits and pieces. Yeah, this scoundrel looks very cool. I like that it's a little anachronistic, right? Like this isn't like a medieval coat and she's wearing fingerless gloves. Like she's kind of got like an 80s fantasy aesthetic, which I like. Yeah, she's pretty cool. And that like the big gold necklaces and then the armored vest, which looks kind of like it's like a fantasy Kevlar vest. What the hell? Look. This is such good art too, because it's like, whoa, look at this cool vampire and her cool vampire friends. And you're like, is this the character? Oh, no. There's the rogue. This is not the character. I was like, you totally get debated by the art. You're like, oh, I want to be, wait a second. There she is. That's cool. Yeah. And then there's this terrifying halfling. This giant bag of gold. Good. Okay, cool. Nice. All right. Sorcerers. Yeah. Sorcerers. Okay. You didn't choose to become a spellcaster. You were born one. I always said sorcerers they're like mutants, right? You have the X gene or whatever, and it might be dragon blood, it might be evil blood, whatever. But yeah, if you're a sorcerer, you were born into magic. Use spells to injure your enemies, influence their minds, and hamper their movements. You might be too vulnerable to get into melee, or your bloodline might give you abilities that allow you to hold your own in a brawl. Yeah. Okay. You have natural charisma during social encounters. It allows you to interact that way. While exploring, you detect the magic around you, finding treasure and warning your friends of magical traps. You craft magic items and scribe scrolls. You might have an independent streak, whether you embrace or reject your magical heritage. You might view your lineage with fascination, fear, or something in between. You might rely on magic items to supplement your limited selection of spells. Others will marvel at your ability to create magic from nothing. I mean, I certainly would. Consider you less dedicated than studious wizards, or assume you're unpredictable as the magic you bring forth. All right, what kind of magic can we cast? What kind of sorcerers can we become? Let me see. So we could be, here are our bloodlines. Whoa, there's so many. Whoa. Okay, here we go. If you are a sorcerer, you have an aberrant bloodline that gives you occult spells, angelic bloodline that gives you divine spells, demonic bloodline that gives you divine spells, diabolic bloodline for divine spells, draconic for arcane, elemental for primal, fey for primal, hag for occult, imperial for arcane, and undead for divine. Wow. Wow. Listen, I know I'm really pale. It's just that my great-great-grandmother was a vampire, so my pappy was a skeleton. I'm curious about what imperial bloodline is. Yeah, right? Like, guess we'll see. Yeah, that's right. My pappy was a skeleton. He boned my mom. Ha 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 ha. Oh my God. I kind of just want to be a human undead sorcerer. So oh my God. Just to make that stupid joke. Yeah. Don't be mad at me. I'm just the son of a lich. All right. Okay. All right. That's enough of that. Yeah, right. King Arthur has imperial blood. So I guess your spell repertoire is based on your bloodline, right? It gives you the cast a spell ability, and you get 3 first level spells you can cast each day. And as you increase, your spells increase. Oh, that's so cool. So the type of spells are occult, divine, arcane, and primal, right? The four types of. Yeah, and they don't just use wizard spells. Yeah. Okay. And then angel blood gives you. Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. I like it. Having a bloodline tied to creatures of a certain alignment doesn't have any effect on your own alignment unless you want it to. Yeah. Right. Look like an angle, but I'm really a devil. Yeah, I like it. Okay. So your bloodline grants you spells. Oh, here we go. So this gives us details on each one and what additional spells you get. Rad. Blood magic. Something speaks to you from beyond the stars or below the earth, ancient and unknowable. This alien influence presses against your mind. You're a Cthulhu sorcerer. Okay. Cthulhu sorcerer, angel sorcerer, demon sorcerer, devil sorcerer, cool mustache sorcerer, draconic. You pick your dragon type. Elemental, so like a genie or something. My mom had sex with a hill when I was born. Fey, hag. A hag long ago cursed your family. Or you're a descendant of a hag or changeling, and their cursed corruption infests your blood. Awesome. Yeah, these are cool magic missiles too. Hag. Ugh. So like, somewhere in your bloodline, someone did a bad thing and now you're paying for it, but it's giving you cool magic. So one of your ancestors was a mortal who mastered magic. Such magical blood can remain latent for generations, but in you it manifested in full. Oh, so you're like Merlin's great-great-grandson or whatever. I love the idea that wizards can create sorcerers. Oh my God, the Forgotten Realms has so many Imperial sorcerers because Elminster can't keep it in his robes. Elminster is the Genghis Khan of the Forgotten Realms. Like, there are all kinds of Imperial sorcerers just wandering around who are like, yeah, Elminster, my mom she couldn't resist that old man's magic wand, I guess. He's the Zeus of the Forgotten Realms. Yeah, totally. Yep. And then undead, right? So again, my pappy was a skeleton. I mean, I figured they'd have to be a different kind of undead, but your family tree may contain a powerful undead like a vampire, or, and I love this bit, if you want to be super edgy, perhaps you died and returned a bit different. You're the crow, right? I don't care for being alive. I've seen the other side. Death awaits me there. Yeah. Fuck yeah. That's awesome. I like it. I'm really more of a, what is wrong with your face? Oh God. I was looking up, I was like, cool pointy thing, and then robes, and then wow, what is, whoa. I guess this is like, you can cast spells or use abilities that change you into like a more like bloodline form. So this makes sense. This is like a demonic transformation. It's katana. It's the spell Gluttonous Jaws. Yeah. Fucking terrifying. Cool. Good. I'm going to just move on before I faint of terror. All right. And now the grand nerds of the setting, we have wizards. So wizards, I guess wizards are probably, if I had to guess, I would say they're probably defined by their school, right? There's their school of magic. Is that Sean Connery? Yeah, maybe. Wizard. So you stay out of the fray, you judge when to use your spells, you save your powerful magic to incapacitate threatening foes, use your cantrips when only weaker foes remain. When enemies pull out tricks like invisibility or flight, you answer with glitter dust or earthbind, leveling the field for your allies. During social encounters, you're a nerd. While exploring, you locate magic auras and run across obstacles, probably have a scroll to make it easier to overcome, and in downtime, you learn spells, craft magic items, and scribe scrolls. You might have an unquenchable intellectual curiosity. You might believe fervently your school of magic is superior if you're a specialist, or that true mastery requires knowledge of all schools if you're a universalist. Use esoteric jargon and technical terms to precisely describe the minutiae of nerd stuff. Others probably consider you to be incredibly powerful, fear what your magic can do, assume you can easily solve all of their problems, pull your underwear up out of your pants, and shove you in your locker. All right, so what do we do as a wizard? We got spellbook. We have the ability to heighten spells. Yeah, just wizard it. And then you choose an arcane school. You have bonded items that you can put spells into and then remove them from. Here we go. During your studies, you produced a thesis of unique magical research. Either improved familiar attunement. Oh my God, your thesis, you're supposed to come up with a title for your thesis. Nerds! Beep, boop, beep, boop. We got a nerd alert. So you have to come up with a title for your thesis, and your thesis could be improved familiar attunement, metamagical experimentation, spell blending, spell substitute. This sounds super fun. I love it. Yeah, this is the kind of character where you're like, excuse me, please refer to me by my full title, Arcane Professor. Thank you. I love it. It's great. It goes back to that, like, if you want to be a wizard, you got to be super smart and have like a deeply functional brain so that you can maintain spells, because magic, unless you're born to it, magic is all about like having to learn formulae. I would personally, because my memory sucks, I would never be a good wizard. I'm decently smart, but there's no way I could make my brain do wizard shit. It's just not. I have to make a pact with the devil to get magic. It's just that's what happened to me. Yep. Yeah, definitely either a cleric of a dark entity or some kind of like warlock type thing. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Probably cursed. Yeah, just cursed by a hag. All right, so the schools, the arcane schools, which allow you to use focus points and do stuff with them. You can be an abjurer. You could be a conjurer. You could be a diviner, an enchanter, an evoker, an illusionist, a necromancer, a transmuter, or a universalist. Okay, all right. So it used to be in editions of lore of yore, it used to be that you had to you could pick a school, and then there were two schools opposed it you couldn't cast. But in this, I believe that you get to you just add spells to your spell book. Yeah. Yeah, look at this rat conjurer. He looks like Dom DeLuise. Oh, hey, yo, I can conjure anything. This is my friend. He's a rat. I conjured him from the friggin' sewers. Go get him, ratty. Cool. So that's pretty neat. I'm pretty into that. Yeah, it looks like he's making a some kind of he's opening a treasure box. He's disarming a magical trap, I think is what he's doing here. Yeah, look, because there's all this treasure in there. Yeah. That's an Azorius wizard for sure. Yeah, okay. So as a wizard, you can take things like Counterspell, which is a reaction to block enemy spells. When a foe casts a spell and you can see its manifestations, you can use your own magic to disrupt it. You expend a prepared spell to counter the triggered creature's casting of the same spell. You lose your spell slot as if you'd cast the triggering spell. Then you attempt to counteract the triggering spell. Oh, neat. Okay. So Counterspell is just a feat that you can take. Okay. All right. That's neat. But you still have to roll, right? And yeah, this means it's a reaction. So you can abjure using an arcane feat as a reaction. Yeah, exactly. And then as an action, you might be able to reach or widen your spell and then cast the spell unless the spell is 3. Now, if the spell is 3, what's interesting about this is you extend the range of your spell. If the next action you use is to cast a spell that has a range, increase that range. Now, could you do this at the end of a turn? Could you do like move, reach spell? At the beginning of your next turn, the next action you take, cast a 3-slot spell with reach? Is that, could you like, yeah, I don't know when these things like, again, we'll have to look deeper into the stuff, but that would be my assumption. There's an entire forum thread trying to answer that. Yeah, I wonder. It's concentration, so I assume it's concentrate, so you could, right? Yeah, I don't know. I guess this is the thing. You start to like come up with these things as you look. Yeah, it doesn't say no. So cool. That's a cool looking illusionist. Oh, this is the character from the table of contents. Yeah. I mean, there is a bunch of like stuff like that, like aiming, right? Right. Where you use it and then it's like the next action gets a bonus, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Cool. All right. So those are the classes. That's how they work. We get into the section for animal companions, which obviously lots of classes have, a bunch of stats for them. Our big wolf. There's our flying cat. Specialized animal companions get additional bonuses. Your companions can level up and get new abilities, like being a cool bat. And then applying an archetype. Oh, I see. Okay. So is this multiclassing? There are infinite possible character concepts. You might find that the feats and skill traits from a single class aren't sufficient to fully realize your character. Archetypes, here's where it gets real deep. So I'm not going to dig too deep into this, but this is where, like, if regular class complexity is not enough for you, this is how you multiclass. So you take archetypes from other classes and you can become champion alchemists or ranger alchemists or whatever, right? So you get basic limited versions. Is this a rage druid? You get basic limited versions of the existing classes. You don't actually take levels. You expend feats. Yeah. She's mad. Bear's mad. She's mad. That's a shillelagh. Get the hell away from this lady. She's gonna mess you up. Is she? Wait, hang on. She's human. She's human size, and that's a small bear, right? Because if she's like a halfling or a dwarf, that's a very small bear. A tiny bear. A micro bear. Right, okay, they're both very small. Got it. Ah, right, a halfling fighter bard. Whoa. Hey, buddy. So this is like a champion. Yeah, fighter champion, probably. Oh, cool. Oh, I like that. Like, clearly like an Indian-inspired like outfit. Oh, that's rad. That's very cool. Fighter druid, maybe? I love the elves with the like all black eyes. Yeah, this guy's fucking Throndir for sure. I have come here from the kingdom of winter. Step. Monk fighter. Yes. Oh, yeah. Rad. Monk cleric, maybe? Anyway, whatever she is, she's awesome. Yeah, maybe sorcerer monk. Good point. Yeah. Sorcerer monk or like, yeah, spellcaster monk. Shadowrun adept. Yeah. Cool. Fighter ranger? Maybe because the heavier. Oh, alchemist ranger. Maybe because of the potions. Also cool. Tank girl? Mm-hmm. It has to be a bard rogue because they're playing a recorder with one hand. Boop, 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 boop. Wait, hang on. Yeah, look at this. So cute. All right, what else we got? Let's see. Sorcerer fighter, maybe? I think it's got like a dwarven axe. Yeah. Or like wizard fighter. Oh, no, wait. That's like, it looks like it's the same guy from the wizard, but I think, so it's a whiz ranger. Yeah. All right. And then wizard champion or a wizard fighter, maybe? I'm going to sing the song of stealth. Boop, boop, beep, boop, beep, loop. That's not an axe. That's a mace. I guess it is flat on the front. It's an axe-shaped mace. Yeah, okay. Good. Sure. Rad. Cool. So that's all the character creation, class stuff. The skills. So skills in this game, and I told you, I warned you it was going to be a long one. We're just under halfway through the book. And we've just gotten to skills. There's going to be some places where we jump ahead. Like I'm not going to go through every single skill. We're going to talk about how skills work in general, and then we're going to carry on. But like I said, this is a very big book. So it's going to be a long first look, which is cool. I'm into it. We're going to break it down into several pieces for later viewing, but yeah, there's a lot. It's a big system. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so when you're using a skill, you have a skill modifier based on the skill's key ability score, the proficiency bonus, any other bonus, and penalties, right? So this is the base DC. It goes from 10 to 40. DC 40. Oh yeah, if you wanna buy a copy of the game, I believe that the best way to do it is probably through Paizo's own storefront. I'm not sure if their PDFs are available elsewhere. Obviously, if you want to buy a copy of the game, hit up your friendly local game store if you want a physical copy. But I don't have any like partner link or anything. We're not doing that. So anyway, so you add up. We talked a little bit about how untrained, trained, expert, master, and legendary, those all give you a bonus, right? Yeah, and that's a good point. It's all Pathfinder's all built into the it's built into Roll20 as well. So that's something that's available to you. All of this stuff is built in Roll20, which is pretty odd. So anyway, yeah. Sometimes you'll have stuff that'll apply penalties. This is a pretty standard like skill set basis. Like the GM will give you a task and tell you how much the DC is. You roll and add up all your modifiers, and then individual skills will allow you to do certain things. But there are feats that are connected or actions that are connected to these skills. So if you are untrained, then you can take all these actions. And then once you're trained, you can take all of these actions. Isn't that cool? So skills aren't just get a bonus or don't get a bonus. It's get a bonus and in addition, get access to new feats. Yeah, right? Access to new abilities. So if you have acrobatics, untrained, you can try to balance or tumble through. But if you train it, you get access to maneuver in flight and squeeze, right? So the idea is that, oh, hey, look. You can earn money during downtime. This is the earn income action. Oh, that's so cool. Identify magic, learn a spell, recall knowledge, give a cool speech. With prestidigitate. Oh, they're performing. Look, there's the little bard in the background there. Right. Recall knowledge, subsist. I love that some of these skills are just downtime skills. Like, if you just want to provide food and shelter while you're on the road or during downtime, subsist. There's a skill for it, right? It's a downtime tag right there. Cool. Oh, that's really good. I love that they give you specific actions, like whether or not you're trained in something, and then bonuses to do it, and how much they take. Yeah, neat. Cool. All right. Well, I'm not gonna dig too deeply into this. If you're interested in how these skills work, what kinds of stuff they can allow you to do, I would suggest that you dig in yourself. But I think it operates on the same basic fundamental level where it says, this is how it works. And then skills modify or upgrade or change that core rule of how something can be used. Sneaking, hiding, that kind of thing. Yeah, keywords take a little time to learn, but they save space, right? It's the same as like with I would say Magic the Gathering is comparably complex to this game in the sense that once you understand what vigilance means, you don't need to write vigilance on every single card, right? Those tags are elsewhere. This is why God love a good organized PDF and Control F.